Ladies, even men, it seems like a never-ending process. We wax, we shave, we try anything to get rid of that unwanted hair, and doesn't it seem like it always comes back so quickly? Well, there's another option you may want to consider. And joining us today to tell us more about electrolysis is Nancy Willis, owner of Willis Salons Day Spa in Easton. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
One thing that I didn't realize, and I assume a lot of people don't realize, is there's actually a difference between laser hair removal and electrolysis. Tell us about that.
Well, laser is not permanent. It may break the hair down a little bit, but it's always going to come back. Electrolysis actually gets down to the root and cauterizes that root and destroys it.
Right.
And once it's cauterized, that particular hair is not coming back.
Yeah. And you brought a graph here, or I guess a picture here, that kind of shows how the hair follicle is. There's little blood vessels at the bottom?
Well, it is time consuming to even do the process. It's very tedious, but a small probe goes down to the follicle. Heat is administered in that area, and it cauterizes that capillary, or those capillaries, and the hair germ cell. And once that's gone, it's permanent.
Okay, now where on the body can we get this done?
You can get it done practically anywhere. You can get it on your eyebrows, which I did, and my upper lip, which I did, and it's permanent. I haven't had it done for 35 years. Ears.
The bikini line?
Bikini line. Your hands, if you have hair on your knuckles, you can get that off. But anywhere you want, you don't want hair.
Yeah, and I know men.
Men, they have it, you know, as they get older, they get that hair on their ears and
back.
hair, yeah. If they get really old, they get hair on the nose, but
really?
okay. We don't want to go there, right?
Yeah, and that's what we wanted to talk about. Men, do you get a lot of men who come in for this?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, yeah, and it's something that they have to have done. It's not like you come into the salon, it's done, and you're out.
No, it's a series of treatments, and it depends on the individual. So you can't give a pat answer. It depends on how much hair you have, the area you're doing, how coarse the hair is, to how often you have to come in. But generally, you can get it done in about a year and a half, and you're done.
You're done for good.
You're done for good.
Is it painful? I mean, what's the process like?
It feels like a little pin prick. It's very short. It's measured on milliamperes of heat, and that is a short amount of heat. So it's enough heat to cauterize it, but not enough heat to come up to the surface of the skin.
So you're not getting burned or anything
So you're not
like
getting
that.
burned, and you don't have any marks.
Now, this is done by a licensed, I guess, electrolyst?
Yeah, electrologist.
Just, okay.
Yeah. And
tell us about the process. Who do you get licensed by?
well, the Board of Nursing is what the electrologists in Maryland are under. There are other organizations that have, like American Electrology Association, or they have Maryland Electrology Association, but the state of Maryland, you have to have a state license.
Right, right. And you brought this machine. This is actually the machine that you use when you're doing the electrolysis, and you said that the tip is so tiny we wouldn't even see it.
Well, this machine's a little bit more advanced because it has a airflow. So it shoots out a small amount of air around the probe where I'm doing the treatment, and it gives a cool sensation. So that really takes away from any discomfort that you would get.
Yeah. Now, what made you get into this field? I think it's an interesting story that you told us earlier.
I know. My sister saw a segment on in Baltimore, and it was Richard Scher and Oprah Winfrey that was doing a segment on electrolysis, and she called me up and said, "You know how we can get rid of air problem?" And that's how it started, and I got rid of mine. And then it was sort of funny. The teacher said, "Do you want to get into it?" It's just that I kind of fell into it, and I said, yeah. And so I
You did.
took education from her, and then I took my license, and I'm here.
And like you mentioned before, not anybody can do this. You have to get your license.
Oh yeah, you have to know. You have to know what you're doing on this,
Right. Yeah.
because it's heat and skin, and you want to have no hair and flawless skin.
All right, Nancy, so much interesting information. I did not know all of that. And of course, if you'd like some more information on consultation, because you need to get a consultation to find out if electrolysis might be good for you, go to delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab. And still to come on Delmarva Life, a full performance from last year's Delmarva's Got Talent winner, Laquan Knock. But first, here's a look at what's coming up in the news on First at 5 on Fox 21 and later on WBOC News at 6.